What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Nerdwide podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Haynes, with my good friend and horror co-host, Chris Rivers. Now, I said horror, not another word.
Oh,
So just
oh,
I had to make
okay.
sure I threw that in
Well,
there for you.
but that would apply too. So
Listen, it is finally the week. We have already done our picks. We did them live and in person. But we'll have to get into that later, Chris. We've got some housekeeping things. We've got some stuff to talk about before we get to that. But how has your week been?
well, we're recording in the middle of
I know,
the week, which
something
is
different,
weird.
you know.
Yeah. We're in the middle of overtime, 4 day week. We get Friday and Monday off for Labor Day, so
Oh, well, you know.
um,
But they make
but
up for it with overtime, so.
yeah. So I stayed late tonight, and I'll stay late Thursday night. So
Listen, it's our first weekend of horror movies.
it
And
is.
the first one I'm excited about. No future spoilers. The second one, up in the air.
So
So,
so I know obviously what we're watching,
right.
but I can't remember the order. So
Mm.
I'm kind of excited to see
I've got it listed
to see
in
to,
the docket once we get down there.
yeah. I haven't
So,
looked though. I
yeah.
haven't cheated yet. So
I've been having some fun with it. So, it's going to be fun. But quick housekeeping for some other things that are fun. It is finally up. The Lioness and the Rat Queen by Noah Levinson. Our book review, well, Chris's book review from the sequel to The Sightless City is up in its own video on our YouTube channel. Make sure you go and check it out. Did Chris enjoy it? I don't know. You'll have to watch and see. And where do we go from there with those books? Again, you'll have to watch that and see.
I
Uh,
did a book report.
you did, and you hadn't done one of those in, well, besides The Sightless City, you hadn't done one of those in a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Other housekeeping vlogs are still going. I'm planning to record one today and post another one. I'm actually going to be talking about our horror movie marathon movie-thon. So make sure you pay attention to our vlogs and all of our little playlists on our YouTube channel for all of the fun nonsense that we do there. But other than that, don't forget to subscribe to either our YouTube or podcasting service of your choice. If you enjoy the show, make sure you leave us a thumbs up on YouTube or give us a good rating, whatever podcasting app you do use. If you don't enjoy what you see or hear, make sure you let us know down in the comments. We can't fix anything. We don't know if it's broken. If you want to do more, you can always go to patreon.com/nerdwide. 3 different tiers for 3 different monetary values. That's how you get your voice heard. If you want us to watch or see anything or play anything, that is where you go and do that. But other than all of that, Chris, you've been watching anything on TV?
Too busy.
Now, Chris,
I
I
caught
have.
I caught bits and pieces of the Hawaii Vanderbilt game.
We were a little busy that night. So, listen, I've been watching a little show by one Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson
Mm.
that dropped on Netflix. That's been on HBO, but dropped on Netflix this past week. I have officially completed all 5 seasons of Ballers in 1 week's time. So it's where he is like an ex NFL Super Bowl player turned financial manager during like these times. And like it
Mm.
ended in 2019, I think, is when the show actually ended.
Just before the pandemic.
Yes, luckily. And it's a really, really, really good show. I recommend it for
Is
if
it?
anybody enjoys like football. Like I wouldn't think I would enjoy it because it's like the financial manager aspect of it all. But it's really good, like agents, and then at one point they buy companies. It's very good. I really enjoy how they did it because like you kind of see behind the scenes, and you could definitely tell that some of the characters are fictional,
Mm.
and you can tell, but that they are based off of certain real life people,
Right.
and so it's not hard to make the correlation to them though. But really
Right.
good show, I do recommend.
That
But
reminds me, there was a show back in the day, way back in the day. I was in, I think, high school. So a long time ago, called Arliss, and I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
mm-mm.
Starred Robert Wool as a sports agent, and they had all kinds of real life athletes cameoing on the
Yeah,
show.
that's how this one is.
And it was a comedy, so he was always running into some kind of problem, but it was good.
Mm. If you like that one, you probably like this one Because it's especially if you like The Rock. The Rock is absolutely. This is what I feel like he shines in. This kind
As
of
long as
roles.
it's not Black Adam.
No, it's you could tell. I think this was. I don't know. I don't remember when that was recorded. Black Adam was a mess. All right, Chris. Penultimate episode. My
Mm-hmm.
Adventures with Superman, episode 9, titled Zero Day Part 2. We're going back to Wikipedia for the breakdown for this 23-minute episode. In flashbacks to Zero Day, the General, Waller, and their forces were attacked by an alien army led by Superman-like figure codenamed Nemesis Omega, before a mysterious event forced the army into a retreat and left their technology behind. In the present, the News Kid Legion helps Lois and Jimmy search for Superman while the General interrogates him for information on Zero Day. From Superman's anguished reaction, the General doubts his connection to it, while his displeased Waller secretly helps the prisoners escape, during which Willis electrocutes Wilson's right eye. A vengeful Ivo attacks Superman but inadvertently frees him. Flip eventually finds it takes him to safety. Clark believes he was sent to Earth to destroy it, but Lois assures him otherwise. Upon learning Ivo was siphoning the power grid and going on a rampage, Lois and Jimmy use social media to petition Metropolis' citizens to turn off their power, weakening Ivo so Superman can use his newly awakened X-ray vision to locate or remove Ivo from the suit. As Superman and Lois declare their love, Jimmy finds File X. On Checkmate's behalf, Waller demotes the General and gives him Ivo's last invention, the Omega Cannon, which with orders to kill Superman. A lot here. Obviously, the Smallville connection is great because in Smallville, Clark believes he is sent to Earth to destroy it from in Smallville. He's sent to rule it, to be the king. That's what's going on in this one too. It's why I really enjoy this story. I think it's crazy though. We're on episode 9 of 10, and he's still getting his powers, which was just cool because it's a new, reimagining of Superman. But this episode was great. Superman being tortured was a little rough, but great. So are we thinking that Krypton tried to invade Earth, and maybe Clark's parents, or somehow stopped them, and that's what stopped them from invading, and sent Superman on their behalf?
Maybe, yeah. Sounds plausible.
That's where my head's going. But I really enjoy this one, and we've got one more episode left, and don't know if I'm ready for it. I really enjoy this show, but I'm starting to realize that I just really enjoy Superman stories. So, whatever.
Well, we've got the Christopher Reeve. Have you ever seen that?
I don't think so. If I have, it was a long, 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 long time ago.
So we could always watch those after Halloween.
That's true. Well, then we got to pick back up our MCU and finish it, which we're getting closer to being done though.
Yeah.
On it. So, that's not a bad idea to have Superman watch-a-thon.
Yeah.
And ending it with the best Superman movie there is, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel.
I mean, let's not get carried away.
The next week's episode is titled Hearts of the Fathers. So, I'm really excited about that one. We'll see how it ends, though. See if they can pull it off, even though they've already signed on for a season 2. Releases this week, Friday, September the 1st, which is crazy to think we're already going to be in September this week. So, we'll see. Friday, September 1st, Disenchantment's last and final season comes on Netflix. And as well on Friday, September 1st, The Wheel of Time Season 2 on Prime Video. That's all I've got for TV. As you stuff.
All right, then.
Because the writer's strike is still ongoing and delaying everything. Which Supernatural's having a picket meet this week.
Really?
I saw that. They were calling everyone to get out there from every season, they said. So that's pretty cool.
Nothing like peer pressure.
Right. Hopefully it works.
On social media, too.
Right.
So what about movies? Have you watched anything else?
I'm trying. No, I think it's been because high school football started back up, so that's taken over our Friday nights and Big
Yeah.
Brother. But other than that, there's
I thought they only had high school football in Texas.
no. I need to. So that's something else. That's might be what I start watching on Netflix because I only
What?
get
High
semi
school football?
decent. No, Friday Night Lights. Um, that's one of the things is that Netflix is like the only streaming service that I get good reception, somewhat good reception for.
Really?
Yeah, it sucks, but
Oh,
so that might be what I watch next because our buddy Grant just keeps relentlessly, hey, you need to watch this, you would love it. So, but
I think you ought to watch Varsity Blues too.
Varsity Blues, I need to watch that one too. I need to add that to the list.
All right, so I haven't had a chance to watch anything else either, except
Boo.
our films. So let's dive in. First up, we have Black Panther.
Mm,
It's still it's enjoyable
yes,
to watch Chadwick Boseman on screen, but it's also sad.
dude, it's one of those that it was somewhat hard to watch too,
Yeah.
just because of it all, and which is crazy. It was we are at his So today's Wednesday. I think it was Monday. Monday or Sunday was Chadwick Boseman's 3 year anniversary of his death. That shocked
It's
the
been
world.
3 years already?
Yeah, because that was 2020.
That does not seem like that.
Dude, when that is just because I can remember streaming as well during my streaming days, um, and getting that news because that sucked because it came out of absolutely nowhere, and that was rough. But
Yeah. All right, so as usual, we're going to run down the plot of each of our films this week and then give some brief reaction because these I feel like most of us have seen them. Tyler's going to follow up with some Easter eggs, even though it's August. Those bunnies don't care, you know. All right, here we go. Thousands of years ago, 5 African tribes war over a meteorite containing the metal vibranium. One warrior ingests a heart-shaped herb affected by the metal and gains superhuman abilities, becoming the first Black Panther. He unites all but the Jabari tribe to form the nation of Wakanda. Over centuries, the Wakandans used vibranium to develop advanced technology and isolate themselves from the world by posing as a third world country. In 1992, Wakanda King T'Chaka visits his brother Njobu, who's working undercover in Oakland, California. T'Chaka accuses Njobu of assisting black market arms dealer Ulysses Clow with stealing vibranium from Wakanda. Njobu's partner reveals he is Zuri, another undercover Wakandan, and confirms T'Chaka's suspicions. In the present day, following T'Chaka's death, his son T'Challa returns to Wakanda to assume the throne. He and Okoye, leader of the Dora Milaje, I am saying that right, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I never feel like I'm saying that name right. A leader of the Dora Milaje extract T'Challa's ex-lover Nakia from an undercover assignment so she can attend his coronation ceremony with his mother Ramonda and younger sister Shuri. At the ceremony, the Jabari tribe's leader M'Baku challenges T'Challa for the crown in ritual combat. T'Challa defeats M'Baku and persuades him to yield rather than die. When Clow and his accomplice Eric Stevens steal a Wakandan artifact from a London museum, T'Challa's friend and Okoye's husband Wakabi urges him to bring Clow back alive. T'Challa, Okoye, and Nakia travel to Busan, South Korea, where Clow plans to sell the artifact to CIA agent Everett K. Ross. A firefight erupts, and Clow attempts to flee but is caught by T'Challa, who reluctantly releases him to Ross's custody. Clow tells Ross that Wakanda's international image is a front for a technologically advanced civilization. Eric attacks and extracts Clow as Ross is gravely injured protecting Nakia. Rather than pursue Clow, T'Challa takes Ross to Wakanda where their technology can save him. While Shuri heals Ross, T'Challa confronts Zuri about Njobu as Eric was wearing a necklace that belonged to him. Zuri explains Njobu planned to share Wakanda's technology with people of African descent around the world to help them conquer their oppressors. As T'Chaka arrested Njobu, the latter attacked Zuri and forced T'Chaka to kill him. T'Chaka ordered Zuri to lie that Njobu had disappeared and left behind Njobu's American son, Njadaka, to maintain the lie. This boy grew up to be Eric, a Black Ops U.S. Navy SEAL who adopted the nickname Killmonger. Meanwhile, Killmonger kills Clow and takes his body to Wakanda. He's brought before the tribal elders, revealing his identity to be Njadaka and stating his claim to the throne. Killmonger challenges T'Challa to ritual combat where he kills Zuri, badly injures T'Challa, and hurls him over a waterfall to his presumed death. Killmonger ingests the heart-shaped herb and orders the rest incinerated, but Nakia extracts one first. Killmonger, supported by W'Kabi and his army, prepares to distribute shipments of Wakandan weapons to operatives around the world. Nakia, Shuri, Ramonda, and Ross flee to the Jabari tribe for aid. They find a comatose T'Challa rescued by the Jabari in repayment for sparing M'Baku's life. Healed by Nakia's herb, T'Challa returns to fight Killmonger, who dons his nanotech suit similar to T'Challa's. W'Kabi and his army fight Shuri, Nakia, and the Dora Milaje, while Ross remotely pilots a jet and shoots down planes carrying vibranium weapons before they can leave Wakanda. M'Baku and the Jabari arrive to reinforce T'Challa. Confronted by Okoye, W'Kabi and his army stand down. Fighting in Wakanda's vibranium mine, T'Challa disrupts Killmonger's suit and stabs him. Killmonger refuses to be healed, choosing to die a free man rather than be incarcerated. T'Challa shows him the Wakanda sunset, and Killmonger dies peacefully. T'Challa establishes an outreach center at the building where Njobu died, to be run by Nakia and Shuri. In a mid-credits scene, T'Challa appears before the United Nations to reveal Wakanda's true nature to the world. In a post-credits scene, Shuri helps Bucky Barnes with his recovery. Yeah.
One of my favorite, I think this is always will be in my top 5 for my MCU. I gave this one a 5 back in the day. Every time I watch it, I'm reminded of why it's a 5 out of 5 stars for me. And it's just so good. Like everyone's acting is absolutely impeccable. And the only thing that I have that's a negative about this movie is that I really wish they would not have killed off Killmonger, because Michael B. Jordan is absolutely wonderful. Like, just absolutely wonderful, and plays really good to Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther. So, other than that, it's just great. God, it's so good.
Yeah, I agree. I gave it 4.5. Score's really, 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 really high. I don't normally say stuff like this because everybody has their own taste, but if you're on like a 5-point scale and you're going to rate the movie, I don't know how you can come in much lower than 4.5.
Right.
It's really good. It's like you said, it's one of the best MCU films.
If I was to recommend MCU movies, obviously, firstly, I would recommend Iron Man, because that's just my personal favorite and the best one.
That's your jam.
Yeah. But second, I would throw over to Black Panther and, the next movie we're going to watch as well, because they're just great, in that I feel like they're great introductions to the MCU. And if you like these movies and you want more, then obviously, those are the ones I'd point you to.
Right.
Easter eggs. Bad Ape minus the name. Adapting a superhero born in the Black exploitation period always has its challenges. With Black Panthers, there's a lot of fluff here. In the comics, M'Baku is played as Man Ape, dressed up in a gorilla suit, physically embodying the white gorilla deity of his tribe. The Stan Lee cameo was always a good one.
Hmm.
A lot of fluff here. Let's see. Gold necklace callback. Let's see. The gold necklace is eventually worn by Eric, but it's designed as the real Easter egg since the gold necklace is almost a perfect copy of the version Black Panther wore in the Marvel's comics. Shuri's another white boy to fix. Was a flash forward. Clow
Hmm.
finally gets his arm cannon from the comics.
Yeah.
A lot of like one-to-one comic references here, like the waterfall scene is a one-to-one for the comic. Um, Trying to scroll through because there's just a bunch of fluff here. And for you Dragon Ball fans out there, Killmonger's costume was designed to look like Vegeta's from Dragon Ball.
Vegeta.
And I think that's going to do it for us. I'm trying to look out to. Yeah, that's all of them. So nothing too crazy, just a bunch of comic references.
Yeah. That yeah, it was such a good
Mm-hmm. It's one like I try to watch one every year.
movie. Yeah.
So it's just
All right.
mm.
On to Spider-Man: Homecoming. Here we go. Following the Battle of New York in 2012, Adrian Toomes and his salvage company are contracted to clean up the city, but their operation is taken over by the Department of Damage Control, or the DODC, a
First
partnership
reference.
between, yeah, a partnership between Tony Stark and the U.S. government. Enraged at being driven out of business, Toomes persuades his employees to keep the Chitauri technology they've already scavenged and use it to create and sell advanced weapons, including a flying vulture suit Toomes uses to steal Chitauri power cells. 8 years later, Peter Parker's drafted into the Avengers by Stark to help with an internal dispute in Germany, but resumes his studies at the Midtown School of Science and Technology when Stark tells him he's not yet ready to become a full-time Avenger. Parker quits his school's academic decathlon team to spend more time focusing on his crime-fighting activities as Spider-Man. His best friend Ned eventually discovers his secret identity. Parker comes across Toombs' associates Jackson Bryce, Shocker, and Herman Schultz selling weapons to local criminal Aaron Davis. Parker saves Davis before being caught by Toombs in the vulture suit and dropped in a lake, nearly drowning after becoming tangled in a parachute built into his suit. He's rescued by Stark, who's monitoring the Spider-Man suit he gave Parker and warns him against further involvement with the criminals. Toombs accidentally kills Bryce with one of their weapons, and Schultz becomes the new Shocker. Parker and Ned study a weapon that Bryce left behind, removing its power core. When a tracking device on Schultz leads to Maryland, Parker rejoins the decathlon team and accompanies them to Washington, D.C. for their national tournament. Ned and Parker disable the tracker Stark implanted in the Spider-Man suit and unlock its advanced features. Parker tries to stop Toombs from stealing weapons from a DODC truck, but is trapped inside, causing him to miss the decathlon tournament. When he discovers that the power core is an unstable Chitauri grenade, he races to the Washington Monument where the core is activated and explodes, trapping Ned and their friends in an elevator. Parker saves them, including his classmate and crush Liz. Days later, in New York City, aboard the Staten Island ferry, Parker captures Toombs' new buyer, Mac Gargan, but Toombs escapes and a malfunctioning weapon tears the ferry in half. Stark helps Parker save the passengers, revealing he called the FBI about Toombs' theft, then confiscates Parker's suit for his recklessness. Parker returns to his high school life and asks Liz to go to the homecoming dance with him. On the night of the dance, he discovers Toombs is Liz's father. Deducing Parker's secret identity, Toombs threatens him. Parker realizes Toombs is planning to hijack a DODC plane transporting weapons from Avengers Tower to the team's new headquarters in upstate New York. He leaves the dance and dons his old homemade Spider-Man suit. Though he's ambushed outside by Schultz, he defeats him with Ned's help. He races to Toombs' lair, where Toombs attacks Parker, destroying the building's support columns, and leaves Parker to die, trapped in the rubble of the collapsed building. Parker escapes and intercepts the plane, steering it to crash on the beach at Coney Island. He and Toombs continue fighting, ending with Parker saving Toombs' life after the damaged Vulture suit explodes. Parker leaves Toombs for the police, along with the plane's cargo. After her father's arrest, Liz moves away. Parker declines an invitation from Stark to join the Avengers full-time, and Stark proposes to Pepper Potts. Stark also returns the Spider-Man suit to Parker, who puts it on just as his Aunt May walks in. In a mid-credits scene, an incarcerated Gargan approaches Toombs in prison, saying he's heard that the latter knows Spider-Man's real identity, though Toombs denies this.
A lot of things happened this movie.
Yeah.
The last time we see the Avengers Tower,
Mm-hmm.
and it has still not been talked about since this movie.
It's supposedly been sold.
Right. But has not been talked about anymore.
Right.
Explain
Yeah.
that. I don't.
I can't. We know we're going to hear about it.
Right. And it's rumored to be the new Fantastic, the Baxter Building and all this other stuff, but we'll see. I imagine that's the easy cop out that they're going to do. I gave this 4.5 stars myself. Because this is, again, one of those great movies. Classic Spider-Man story, and our very first one with Tom Holland. I feel like he killed it. I'm excited that he was a part of it. I remember watching this movie in theaters and absolutely loving it.
He's a really good Spider-Man.
Yes.
And I know he feels like he's aging out of the character. I don't.
Yeah, I say keep it going. Quick Easter eggs here. At the end of Civil War, we heard that Pepper and Tony were on a break. This probably led to the in real life people thinking that Gwyneth Paltrow had left the Marvel scene. I remember that was the big talk about, but it was not. They proposed. Avengers Tower we talked about. Stan Lee's cameo is a great one. So he just yelled at he was yelling at Peter Parker. Of course, this is his favorite character he made. The Shocker reference. No Uncle Ben in this one. Karen is the in-house Jarvan. So, in his Jarvan suit in here.
Yeah.
So, and that's about it. I mean, all the other ones. These are just ones you might have missed. So nothing crazy for that one.
Cool. All right. So that's going to be it for the MCU rewatch until November.
Yeah. We got November and then
Gonna have a
December and then probably pick it back up in January, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not going to be a lot left. So, but we'll get. It would have been nice to have gotten it caught up in time for the Marvels, but it is
There's
what it
too
is.
many.
Yeah, there's too many. There's way too many. All right, so what's it been, a week? I think a week ago I sent you a video link to a discussion, and it has been a minute. So I'm trying to remember the guest on the video. Let me actually see here. So the video is over on the Serial at Midnight channel. Heath Holland's channel, which has a ton of subscribers. I think he does a very good job over there. Oh wow, this was back on August 18th, so it's been even longer. Let me see here. Yeah, Ralph Tribby was his guest, and they were basically talking about some stuff. going on at Disney in particular, but also just in general, they do touch on the writer and actor strikes. And one thing that Tribby said in this was that caught my attention was the studios right now aren't bothered by the strike because the way
Mm-mm.
they see it, they're saving all this money that they're not pumping into productions right now. Disney in particular, because here's the thing, Bob Iger, and again, my source is that video.
Right.
Bob Iger is Disney owns, was it half of Hulu, and Comcast owns the
Yeah.
other half. There's an agreement in place apparently between Disney and Comcast for Disney to acquire the other half of Hulu. They would fully own Hulu, and it's in place for $6 billion.
You know.
So, pocket
Yeah,
change.
pocket change.
But a lot of what Disney's been doing in recent months, and this may include the hardline stance they're taking on the strike, is to shuffle money around on the books to accumulate this 6 billion to be able to complete the purchase of Hulu.
So it's just a blessing
Um,
in disguise for old Iger here.
yeah. So um, I don't remember the full. It's been like I said, a week and a half or so since I watched it, but um, there was some accounting that was done where they actually took a $2 billion loss on something, but the way that they were able to do the accounting, it only counted 500 million towards the loss, and they were able to basically keep 1.5 billion, and that's going to go toward the Hulu purchase price. But essentially, all the money that they're saving right now is going towards the purchase of Hulu. And that includes, and this got specifically mentioned in the discussion, that includes not giving the final Indiana Jones film a physical media release. So they don't have to go to the expense of making the disc, of making the packaging and shipping it out and all that stuff. It's only digital for now. When it does hit, now of course next year
Right, that
we'll
could
get
change.
we'll get a box set with all the movies in it.
Yeah.
But I sent it to you because I was like, hey, here we are waiting for this strike to end. They have no interest in it ending until they get what they want
Right.
by this taking place.
It blows my mind a lot of this stuff, and it's like this corporate greed right here that just it's like is the whole reason why they're doing these strikes. And I don't know if I talked about it with you or if I was talking about it with Jamie, but someone did like ran the numbers and things like that for like your Bob Igers, your people Warner Brothers, the top of them. It's costing to pay the actors and writers what they're wanting for the residuals and everything would only be 0.18% of the annual revenue.
Yeah, it's
0.18, not even a 1%. And they won't do it. So how does that make sense? And then I saw like
yeah,
another article. I don't know if we talked about it or it was you sent it to me. Maybe I just saw it on Twitter that a lot of I think Bob Iger or one of those higher up guys said they don't want to pay the writers and director and actors because it would be it would set a precedent to their foreign to across the world studios for them to they would have to pay them too, and so they don't
yeah.
want to do it because it's a president. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like,
I mean, all they want to be paid a fair wage,
right?
a fair salary, I guess technically, for what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get to see the full interview, but um, I think it was Heath Holland again doing an interview with oh God, he's been in quite a bit of stuff that I've watched. Um, you'll know who I'm talking about too. If when I say his name and you look him up, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. He was Jiminy Cricket on Once Upon a Time. Raphael Sparge.
Yes.
Sparge. Um, he was being interviewed, and he was talking about, there's like 1%, if that much, of the actors out there are that A-list level. If they never work again, they're going to be fine financially.
Right.
He said most actors are making maybe, and I don't know if he put this range in there, but this is kind of what like 30 to 50,000 a year,
Mm-hmm.
which in this day and age is not.
No.
It's not a huge amount. Like you need to keep working,
Mm-hmm.
and
And the fact like a lot of these writers are going and still doing Uber and Lyft once their project
yeah,
is done, that should not be happening
no.
at all.
But then you get these studios and networks, and they have these deadlines set, and they want the work done by this deadline.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I'm not making enough and I need to go out and have a second job, you know, then you'll get your stuff when I get it done
Correct.
and not until.
So, I mean, I hope
But
they get everything they're asking for. I really do because they
and they're
deserve
not
it.
asking for a lot.
No, like 0.18%. I can't stop thinking about
And
that.
and oh, by the way, just give us the assurance that you're not going to take advances in technology
Mm-hmm.
and replicate us via AI so that we never can work again.
Right. That should. That's concerning. On top of all that, it's a whole nother conversation.
I think something happens probably in. I really don't want it to last this long, but I could see November.
Yeah. If not the rest of the year, honestly.
And then, well, it'll take a while to get cranked back up.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So,
we're not
and
seeing any new projects and stuff until next year.
probably March or April.
Mm-hmm. Unless it's
Some of
our
these,
stuff that's already been recorded. But
yeah, yeah. I know Quantum Leap on NBC has some episodes already made, so they'll probably put those out.
once this is done, we'll get the boys. We'll get a boys premiere date. Invincible will come out, and I think that should be it for us as far as our right. And boys is done. Invincible's done,
Doom
and
Patrol.
Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Well, that's Warner Brothers. I don't know what they're doing with that one, so we'll see.
James Gunn said that we'll see it. He just didn't know when.
God, that sucks, dude.
But in a way that the fact they didn't already put it out
Mm-hmm.
is great for them because if they go this dry on content, they've got something new that they can drop.
Yeah, they could at least just throw that out there.
Yeah.
So, be a good October show.
Yeah. All right. So, you mentioned at the kickoff of the show that we've already selected the Halloween films. So, right now we're going to show everyone the selection process.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler's Wheel of Horrors, as it
Wheel of
turns
Horror.
out.
That's exactly what that's called.
You got two or three this year.
Yeah. So,
All right, so let's have everybody sit back and enjoy watching that process, and we'll be back when it's over.
what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with a Nerdwide special. We've been talking about this. We do this every year. We've been talking about this for a while. It is time for our Halloween movie picks for the year. Of course, this year we are starting in September and going all the way through October. We're going to do 14 movies total, 2 a week because we are very low on our TV rewatch. Because we only have My Adventures with Superman right now, and that's going to end soon. And then Loki starts up, but then we're done with that. So we're going to do 2 Halloween horror movies a week, just like we do in the MCU. We're going to put that on pause, and we're going to come in straight to our horror movies. Of course, I'm your host, Tyler Haynes, with my co-host, Chris Rivers back here. And live and in person, ladies and gentlemen. Not just another man on a different screen here. And then my beautiful wife, Jamie Haynes, which you can pop in. So, we all have our list in. I'm going to read them real quick, and then we're going to do our 12 movies of our movie spin. So, Chris this year has nominated Rosemary's Baby, I've never heard of. Dead Silence, also never heard of. The Exorcist, which I'm hoping is not get picked. The Blair Witch Project, which I've seen, but it's been years. Ringu, never heard of. The Omen, I'm curious. I did want to see that one. Candyman, Paranormal Activity, again, hoping never gets picked. A Nightmare on Elm Street, and Friday the 13th. So,
yeah,
that's
classics.
a lot of movies I just don't hope gets picked. My wife over here has nominated Idle Hands, the original Final Destination, the first one, right?
Yes.
The Lost Boys, It. Now that one is the new one and the sequel to the new one. Was it Part 2? Is what it is?
We're gonna count it as one though.
Okay, we'll count it as one. Hereditary, Midsummer, Tremors, House of a Thousand Corpses, which I've seen a very long time ago. The Babadook, which I've heard of, which I don't want to watch that, and Terrifier, which sounds terrifying, so I don't want to watch it at all. Now my list is Shaun of the Dead, Resident Evil, the first one, Constantine with Keanu Reeves, Dark Shadows, John Carpenter's Vampires, Little Evil, and then the new Black Phone, which I guess is the newest one. A lot of these, well, not a lot, some of these I had on last year's list, but did not get picked whatsoever.
There's no collusion. We don't know how it happened.
Yeah, I've never understood how this happens. So those are the 27 movies picked. Of course, we are going to do The Haunted Mansion, the brand new one, whenever it launches on Disney Plus. So TBD for that one. And then Scream 7 will also pick a week. But those are locks in already. We just don't know when we're going to do those yet. So here is the Wheel of Fate, the horror movie Wheel of Fate here.
So excited.
And so we have to pick 12 movies tonight.
Yeah.
And whatever order they come in is what we watch them in, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. Pick number 1. Is perfect. Black Phone, right where we want it.
This is like a scary movie in the making in itself.
I made it
Like,
myself.
just dinner and that's
Well, look, we've already got my first pick, so we're already
That's
one
it
for
for the
one
whole
here.
thing.
That's probably gonna be it for the rest of it. So
Imagine all yours get picked this year.
all of mine are just instantly picked.
Nice PG.
Yeah, it must be
Halloween
nice.
for us.
The Babadook. Wonderful. Already not liked it, that one.
Yeah.
Number 3.
I'm hoping he lands on Terrifier.
Let's just keep going with that. And Paranormal Activity, just go ahead and skip those. It. The new one, part 1 and 2.
Friday after the Zoe Theater.
Yeah, so
I
if
overcome my fears.
if she can do it, I can do it,
No.
She said no.
Yeah, I took Zoe in like middle school to see this. So,
So if she can do it, I can do it. Number 4. Okay, we're gonna hide that one. Ignore that. That's just a freebie.
Yeah.
That's just a freebie. That means I get to pick one of mine.
No.
No. Oh, well, I
That's
tried.
how that works.
Oh, John Carpenter's Vampires. I am 2 for 4 tonight. God. All coming up. I didn't influence this at all. So she said, mm-hmm. I did. 11, 12. Wonderful. Just great. Because that's not close enough to home. The Blair Witch Project. Which is how close is that to us? That's what, an hour away, hour and a
No,
half.
you're thinking
No,
of Bell
you're
Witch.
thinking of
Bell Witch. What's the Blair Witch? Is that the same thing?
No,
Not
the Bell Witch legend inspired
yeah.
the Blair Witch.
What is this one?
What it says is the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm going to find out. Wonderful. That's just great. Okay. I seriously thought that was.
One of the same.
I thought that was the same exact thing. Well,
Bell Blair.
God damn it. Judge, of course it is. That
This
week's.
is really so this was one of my picks that I really wanted to do as far as Halloween costumes. I wanted to be the exorcist and have him be the priest, and he's not having it. Be great Halloween.
That week's going to suck. The Blair Witch paired with The Exorcist, that weekend's going to suck. That's going to be at 8 a.m. Sun has to be shining, no rainy days kind of weekend for that
We
one.
also have to talk about which version we watch.
Of The Exorcist?
Because there's like a director's cut.
Whatever's cheapest. Whatever we can find on,
Okay.
whatever's free on whatever streaming service we get to.
The first one. That's
You said the first one.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Whichever one's closest to PG.
Yeah, whatever one, not going to leave you with nightmares the whole night. Number 7. Okay, A Nightmare on Elm Street. I want to watch that one.
Have you ever watched that?
Nope, never seen it.
Yeah,
That's partially why he put it on there.
yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, never seen it. Is this Freddy Krueger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I've never seen it.
Is this Freddy
I live
Krueger?
a sheltered life. I've lived a sheltered life, as we have come to find out over this. Wonderful. That sounds horrifying. Rosemary's Baby.
Such a good movie.
I don't believe you at all.
It's a
That's
classic.
classic.
Rosemary's Baby
What
is
year?
classic.
1968.
Perfect. That sounds great. I can do 1960s.
No, it's still. I mean,
Poltergeist has still messed me up.
for
So
its time, it's pretty.
number 9. Come on. All right. The original Final Destination.
It's a good movie.
So we
too.
were talking earlier in here. I've seen the second one, not the first one, because the second one's
How did you watch
the log
second
one.
and not the first one? I don't
know.
even. The second one's a log one. I didn't even think that was the second one. I thought it was like third.
Wasn't third the one with the tanning beds where they're at the carnival?
There's so many of them
And
though.
all
I
that
thought that was
all
later.
works on-
Later.
Or was that 5?
I thought that was.
No, that wasn't 5. That was
What's
3.
2000?
Because when they came
Yes,
out
this is the
The
airplane
last
one.
one had the race car track, right? Where the tire.
I think.
Yeah, see, the first one was the airplane, like you were saying. The airplane crash. He screams to warn the others. I don't want to get claimed, so we're not going to play that trailer. So it's the airplane. So the second one is the car crash one with the logs. So I have not seen the first one. Will I want to fly on an airplane again after
No.
seing this one?
I don't know.
Oh, you said I don't know. Guess we'll find out. Oh, God. Number 10. 3 more picks.
I really hope Terrifier.
Oh, no, just keep going. Give me Constantine.
The Omen and Terrifier would be
Oh,
a good pairing.
oh, great.
Oh
Hereditary.
no, I really like this one. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
He's not gonna be able to watch it. He's not gonna
Stop it. That y'all aren't helping here.
He's not gonna make
Especially this is so with Hereditary. That's gonna be close to. This will be the weekend before. No, 2 weekends before Halloween. So 11 and 12 will be the weekend of Halloween, of the Halloween party and everything.
We got to figure out where Scream
And Haunted. Well,
Mansion.
Haunted Mansion will be whenever it drops on Disney Plus. Well, which has to be October.
Yeah.
You would, because I mean, it's been.
That'd be silly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been in theaters. Was it the end of July? I think is when it came into theaters. So it should line up right with October. Screen 7 we could watch. We'll just have to pick a weekend. We'll see. I say between Blair Witch and Exorcist, but that's just my own personal decision.
We got 2 more.
2 more. Number 11. Getting low here. Getting low. Oh, Shaun of the Dead. This list, 2023 is the year of Tyler Haynes. I'll take it.
What we should have done is we should have taken a camera and walked with you through a haunted house. And
Absolutely
let the
not.
viewers see that.
There's not enough.
Or a haunted woods.
He won't do it.
I'm good.
I tried to get him drunk once.
Oh.
She's tried to get me drunk
And, like,
and
trick him
manipulated
into
me
going.
into going to a haunted house.
Well, no, what you do is get him drunk and drop him off in the haunted woods.
Nope.
And then come back for him later.
Yeah, that's what I should do.
And then your last pick for the Halloween Scary Horror Movie-thon of 2023 is... Come on. The Omen is what we're gonna end with. That's the I See Dead People, right?
No.
No.
The Sixth Sense.
That's the what's the Omen? That's what I've been thinking the whole time. That was the what's the Omen?
That's why you said you wanted to see it, because I don't think you're gonna.
Oh, stop it! What's
So really that era from the late '60s to the mid '70s.
Oh, come on!
No, yeah, you're gonna love it, babe.
Come on.
The Exorcist and Rosemary's Baby.
Look,
are
Estella
kinda
was a
like
bully,
these-
babe. I
Stop
mean,
it! Stop it! Stop it! What is
You might need to check her scalp.
1976 supernatural horror film directed by Richard Donner and written by David Seltzer?
He's gonna.
A young child replaced at birth by his father, unbeknownst to his wife, after the child dies. A series of mysterious events and violent deaths occur around the family. That's just...
it isn't Damien.
He is the Antichrist. That's just wonderful. So, wonderful. So your list, as of the magical all-spinning picker wheel, Black Phone, Babadook, It Part 1 and 2, John Carpenter's Vampires, The Blair Witch Project, which is different than the Bell Witch Project. Who knew? The Exorcist, Nightmare on Elm Street, Rosemary's Baby, Final Destination, Hereditary, Shaun of the Dead, and The Omen, of course, with the newest Haunted Mansion with, Owen Wilson, and Scream 7. So that is 1, 2,
It's math, babe.
3 of my movies of 12. So
It's better than last year.
yeah, better than 1 of last year. So whatever. I still hate this game. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be our list of our horror, scary Halloween movie-thon that starts next week for this wonderful nonsense. I can't wait. I'm so excited. But make sure you're watching. We'll review 2 of these a week. And the only way you can find it is here on the Nerdwide podcast. And just can't wait to talk to you about it. Let us know what you're excited for me to be tortured and sit through. I just can't wait. Hey, the Terrorizer, though, not on here. So maybe next year, guys.
Sure.
Jerks. Until then,
Terrified.
whatever it was, whatever it is, we will see you next time. Thanks, guys. Man. Starting off with the Black Phone with my pick is excellent. So,
That's one that I've been wanting to see. I haven't
Yes.
actually watched that yet. So
No, we were talking to, my camera unfocused, Anthony and Jen at the draft party, and they both said it's not that good. So, we'll see. I'll be the judge of that, okay?
I like Ethan Hawke,
Yes.
and the makeup, the practical makeup that he wears is. I don't know if it's a mask or not.
We'll find out,
So- We'll find out.
All right,
Spooky.
Chris, read through all the picks of what we just did. And I want to see what you're most excited about here.
Let's start off by saying we're gonna watch Haunted Mansion, the new one, and Scream 7. We don't know where they're gonna fall in this just yet. Haunted Mansion especially because it's not available on streaming, or I don't think it's on physical yet either. It'll probably hit at the same time.
Right.
So we got to see when it comes out. Here's the list, though. Running down in the order. Is this the order that they fell in?
Yep.
So, okay.
That's what order they They were rolled. I have it written down here on the paper here. The official list.
All right, so Black Phone, which you can watch on Amazon Prime. The Babadook. I don't know what site that's on. But
Well, I think it's, the ones that say rent, you have to rent through like Amazon Prime and stuff like that. But
Okay.
we don't have to worry about that because we don't know like if they'll come free. Because you know how some that
Right.
a lot of these little services will do their Halloween movies will drop in October and
right.
September and stuff. So
It parts 1 and 2.
the new versions,
Yeah, so technically that's going to be a 3-movie
yeah, week.
week. That was Jamie's.
Well, she always has to be difficult.
So let's see, you had Black Phone,
Yes.
right? Did you have the Babadook or was that
No,
Jamie?
that was Jamie.
Okay, so she had Babadook, It 1 and 2. This was one of yours, John Carpenter's Vampires.
So I'm already more than I had last year. So
Yeah. It was looking so promising for you.
I know.
And then right there toward the end, it just took a turn.
Oh yeah, everybody else just said, "Nah, we're done."
The Blair Witch Project, which we've both seen.
Well,
You haven't
I've
seen it in
seen
a
the
while.
Bell Witch.
You saw a Bell Witch movie.
Yeah, I've not seen this one.
Did you watch An American Haunting, the one with Donald Sutherland in it? Is that the one that you saw?
I think so.
Okay.
Because what did we watch in high school? So
It's been a while since that came out,
Yeah.
so it could be it. This is when it took a turn for
yeah,
Tyler.
this is where it took a turn for the worst.
The Exorcist.
hmm
And we still have to figure out. So anyone that's listening or watching, please let us know what you think. There are different cuts of the movie that are available out there. I have the physical copy, so I think there's like 3 or 4 different cuts of the film. We want to know what you all think we should watch.
I
The
think.
director's cut,
Oh,
the
it's a good question. We'll have to see.
yeah.
Because I do want to watch like the original. Because
You'll
there is an Exorcist
Oh, yeah.
series too.
Yeah, no, we're not
Yeah,
doing that.
no.
But the film, there's like a director's cut, and there's I think a couple of other cuts of it, and they each have slightly different scenes that are added or taken out. Or after that, now this is one that I'm looking forward to your
Me too.
reaction to.
I'm excited for this one.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Never seen it. Classic.
I'll say this: the first one is darker than the rest because it starts
Yeah.
out truly horror. Freddy was always my favorite villain because, the others kind of had places that you could avoid going to,
Mm-hmm.
but everybody has to sleep,
Yep.
so that was perfect. Rosemary's Baby, 1968, I believe, or 69.
Mm-hmm.
So Roman Polanski directed. Stars Mia Farrow, who at the time I think was married to Frank Sinatra. Was filmed at least partly at the Dakota apartment building where John Lennon would be assassinated a few years later. People said there was a curse on the place because of this movie.
Wonderful. Just wonderful.
Tyler's loving it.
Can't wait. Woo.
The first Final Destination. You've seen the second one. We figured out you've
We
seen
figured
the
out.
second.
I thought it was the first one, but I guess it's the second one.
So the first one you've never seen, so that's
Mhm.
going to be cool to watch it for the first time. You're like, yeah,
A
sure.
lot of these are for the first time, and I just can't wait.
Hereditary, which is a newer
I think
film.
that's probably the one I'm the most nervous. That one and the last one I'm probably the most nervous about.
Yeah.
So, just because Jamie says like it's just really gross and people have thrown up in theaters and stuff like that. And I've heard some things about this movie. So,
Yeah. Here's one you're not nervous about. Shaun of the Dead.
I'm excited. It's been a long time since I've seen it. And it's been a long time, but it's our only zombie movie, which is nuts to me. Because usually, I think last year we had 2 or 3 zombie movies, and this one's our only one.
Yep. Now, I will say this. In this area here of the list is where Haunted Mansion's going to fall, somewhere in there.
Oh God, a
Yep.
nice palate cleanser.
So you're going to have Shaun of the Dead and Haunted Mansion in the mix in
Yeah.
some of those heavy movies. So that'll be helpful.
God, please.
And then finally, guys, the original The Omen, 1973 or 4. That one might have been 75 actually. Gregory Peck. I don't know if you've ever seen the To Kill a Mockingbird movie.
I
Plays
haven't. It's been a
Atticus,
long time.
probably in school.
Mm.
Plays Atticus Finch, the lawyer, in that. So, but yeah, did this some really good special effects in it. Uh,
All these will be watched during the daytime, so just letting you know.
I don't know. You got to watch them at night with all the lights out, a few candles lit.
No. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay.
So that, and then like I said, Haunted Mansion and Scream 7.
It's a good list this year, though.
I put those 3 heavy hitters, The Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby, and The Omen on there, thinking one would get picked. Maybe 2. They all 3 ended up on there, and they all 3 ended up in the final 7.
And Jamie's Exorcist gets picked, and it's fine. It's not a big deal, guys. Whatever. Yeah, Let's make it a year to remember. This year had already been crap, so let's just keep going with it. Why not? Yeah, why not?
But yeah, next week, Black Phone and Babadook.
It'll be exciting. I'm really excited for Black Phone. Babadook, I don't know much of. It's one that I think haunted Jamie a little bit, so which means it's not going to be a good one for me. So
we should point out though, for those that have never gone through this with us before, Jamie will be watching these with you.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
yeah, I don't watch these solo.
No, we wouldn't be doing these if you.
A lot of these Zoe will be watching with us as well.
So I think, especially with Jamie, since she's probably going to watch all of them with you, but Zoe as well, and the ones that we need to get them on the show and get their thoughts.
We could. It'd just be hard because of Stella. Because someone's got to watch Stella while we record. So I think some of these Jamie will make sure she has to be a part of.
Maybe
Exorcist is probably one of them, and
maybe if they record their thoughts separately, we could drop it in the video.
Put it in there and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that'd be a good one. Oh, that's actually something smart to think about. Okay, I'll bring that up.
And you could always get Stella's opinion too.
Well, a lot of these she'll be watching facing the other direction, like watching her phone or something like that.
Probably all these. Haunted Mansion.
Maybe. So we'll see.
She could have her own little segment where she talks about it's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Yeah, it's the classic ones.
All right. Well, we don't have any news, so we've gone through all the movie stuff. We do know the Equalizer 3 in cinemas September 1st. So
still making those.
Yeah. I remember the old TV show. That was.
Yeah.
So there's that.
But ladies and gentlemen, this has been the prequel to our horror marathon. Next week we start off running. Again, don't forget to check out the Lioness the Rat Queen book review by Noah Lemelson. Don't forget to check that out. Don't forget to keep up with the vlogs that I'm going to start doing again now that my throat is feeling better and I'm not as sickly as I used to be. So make sure you all are checking in and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's the best way to get all this content. Don't forget to share it on your favorite social media platforms, including Threads. Still looking into getting Nerdwide on there, which I should be able to do with this extended weekend coming up. Should be able to figure out a way to do all that. You can follow Nerdwide on Twitter at nerd_wide. You can follow me personally at Ty_Haynes. You can follow Chris on Threads at MavTN7. You can follow me on Threads at Sir Haynes. But ladies and gentlemen, let us know what you think about this list. Let us know what you're most excited about for it. And it just starts off next week. So here we go. Just everyone can be really excited. But until then, we'll see you next time.
Later, guys.